You ever notice how cheaters aren't as clever as they think they are? Like, if you're gonna cheat on your partner, especially one you live with, maybe don't leave your digital breadcrumbs in the same damn app you used to plan brunch 2 Sundays ago. It started with a calendar block. Just two little gray bars labeled focus time every Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. She told me it was for deep work, the kind where she turns off Slack, silences her phone, and apparently forgets her boyfriend exists. Now, normally, I wouldn't question it. I work from home too, freelance contractor, low drama, high caffeine, predictable hours. Fridays were my grocery run window. She knew that. I'd hit Trader Joe's, maybe Costco, and be back with frozen dumplings and oat milk before she finished her focus. But one week, I forgot my wallet and doubled back. Got home at 1:27. Apartment was empty. Like, dead quiet. No keyboard clacking. No podcast playing in the background like she usually had when working. I knocked. No answer. Bedroom door open, laptop gone. Not even a coffee mug left behind. Okay, maybe she went to a cafe. But then, why block it out as focus time? That's usually her code for, don't bother me. That's when I saw it. On the kitchen counter, tucked halfway under a takeout flyer, was a brown paper bag from Uber Eats. Still warm. Receipt said it was delivered at 12:52. For 2 entrees, pad see and drunken noodles. Both spicy. I don't eat Thai. Not because I'm picky, just because my digestive system is a coward. So either she suddenly developed a second stomach or someone else was having lunch with her. I didn't say anything. Not yet. Suspicion is a fragile thing, crack it too soon, and it either evaporates or explodes. I needed more than a warm takeout receipt to justify lighting a match. So I let it simmer. The next Friday? Same thing. Focus time magically appears on the calendar. I play it cool, tell her I'll be out running errands again, and this time I deliberately linger outside the apartment for a few minutes. No sounds from inside. No footsteps. No calls. No, let me finish this real quick, like she does when she's actually working. When I came back at 3:15, she was home. Barefoot. Hair slightly damp. Room smelled like citrus body wash, the one she keeps in her overnight bag, not the stuff in the shower. She asked if I remembered to grab oat milk. I smiled and said of course. That night, while she slept beside me, I did the thing I hadn't done in 3 years of dating. I opened her Google Calendar on my tablet. It was easy. She'd shared it with me when we moved in together. We used it to book apartment cleanings, vet appointments, and the occasional dinner with her pretentious book club friends. I tapped into the Friday block. Repeat event. Weekly. No location. Just 2 hours of focus. I synced the calendar to my iPad, quietly, and set up a custom alert. Every time she added or edited a block, I get pinged. Then I cross-referenced. Uber Eats, baby. The cheater's favorite accomplice. I checked the app on our shared account, technically mine, but she used it too. Past orders, delivery times, addresses. I knew she had it tied to her work email for cashback perks, so I dug through archived email receipts in the trash folder. Boom. Every Friday. 12:40 to 1 p.m. delivery address? Not our apartment. Not her office. A hotel. Same hotel. Same damn room. Room 406. 3 weeks in a row. And I hadn't even started trying hard yet. You know that feeling when you realize the person you sleep next to is playing you like a crossword puzzle with half the clues erased? Yeah, that kicked in around 2 a.m. that night. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how someone could be so boringly predictable about cheating. A shared calendar? Really? That's not just betrayal, that's laziness. I didn't confront her. That would be emotional. Emotional gets you gaslit. Emotional gets you sobbing over half-finished pad CEW while she cries about being misunderstood. I wasn't going to be that guy. No, I wanted clarity. Proof. Something that would slap harder than an argument ever could. So I set up the game. Step 1. Confirm the guest. There were no names in the Uber Eats deliveries, obviously, just orders and drop-offs. But I got lucky. The 4th Friday in a row, I tailed the delivery. Yeah, I know. It sounds like something out of a B-grade spy movie. But hear me out. I left the house 15 minutes after her. Took my truck. Parked it half a block from the hotel she'd been using as her focus retreat. I wasn't sure what I expected. Rose petals? Champagne flutes? Nope. Just a Camry pulling up around 12:45, Uber Eats bag in hand. The driver walked straight into the lobby. No hesitation. I watched from my truck as the elevator display flicked. Up to 4. Not subtle. At 2:56, I watched the same driver come back out. Empty bag in hand, tip in pocket. Just doing his job. But then came the jackpot. At 3:01, my dear girlfriend emerged from the front doors, hair tied back, hoodie on, but unmistakably her. Behind her, 3 steps back, came a guy. Khakis. Blazer. Cheap cologne I could smell from my car. He was the kind of guy who looked like he thought the mirror owed him money. Slight smirk, phone in hand. Eyes scanning the street like he owned the damn city. They didn't walk out together, but they didn't need to. He peeled off left. She peeled off right. But their timing was too perfect to be coincidence. I snapped 3 photos. Timestamped. That night, I looked at her focus time block again. Still on the calendar. She had even added a little emoji. A freaking brain emoji. My turn. Step 2. ID the guy. This part was tricky. I didn't want to start asking questions or tipping my hand. But I had a clue. She worked at a mid-sized marketing firm, all remote, but occasionally met up with clients. She'd been doing some project work for a health startup, or so she claimed. She left her work laptop open once. I didn't touch it, but I saw a Zoom window minimized on the taskbar with the name Travis C. in the title. I Googled the firm's LinkedIn. Bingo. Travis Calder. Brand consultant. Part-time podcast guest. Full-time walking cliché. And married. Of course. Now it was more than just infidelity. It was office gossip in the making. 2 people using the corporate time card to do anything but work. It wasn't just unethical. It was boringly dumb. Step 3. Check the ecosystem. That's what I called it. Her digital breadcrumbs. Her Spotify account, which we shared, she'd been listening to this one playlist every Friday around 1 p.m., something called Lo-Fi Love Plus Chill. Disgusting. Even better? She had Alexa commands set up. Alexa, play our song. Repeat. Every Friday. I checked the logs. The voice recognition had tagged it as her, but once it labeled it unknown male voice. That was a good day. At that point, I had everything I needed for the big swing. But I didn't want confrontation. I wanted collapse. So I laid the trap. I blocked out a new calendar entry on our shared Google Calendar. Friday, 12:30 p.m. anniversary surprise 2 arts. She saw it within 10 minutes. Her phone buzzed, and I saw the little red receipt pop up. She didn't say anything until dinner. Hey, she said casually. What's the anniversary surprise? I grinned. Wouldn't be a surprise if I told you, would it? She gave a fake little laugh and pretended to blush. I could see the gears grinding behind her eyes. She wasn't sure if I knew or if I was just being cute. I let her twist. Friday morning came, and I was already dressed by 11. She looked panicked, like a kid who forgot their homework. Do I need to dress up? She asked. Nah, I said. Keep it casual. It's more of a reflection thing. She smiled like she didn't get it. And she didn't. At 12:15, I asked if she was ready. She nodded. I drove. We pulled up to the hotel at 12:45. Her face went pale. Wait, what's this? I looked at her. Room 406. Should I knock, or do you want to? Her hand hovered over the door handle like it was made of fire. That's when the second car pulled up behind us. Out stepped a woman in a crisp navy blue blazer. Confident. Straight-backed. Familiar. I'd seen her on a Zoom screen once, walking behind Travis. His wife. And I would later learn a head of HR. The moment that second car door opened, I swear I heard the oxygen leave her lungs. You know that quiet panic people try to cover with a cough or a fake smile? She didn't even try. She just froze. The woman stepped out like she owned the sidewalk, heels sharp, hair pinned back like she was walking into a courtroom. And maybe she was, in a way. Is this it? She asked me. Calm. Controlled. I nodded toward the front doors. Room 406. My girlfriend, let's call her that for now, though I was already mentally filing her under, X finally unglued herself from the passenger seat. What is this? She stammered. Who is she? I didn't answer. I didn't have to. The woman cut in. Hi, I'm Valerie, Travis's wife. The color dropped out of her face so fast I thought she might faint. If she had, I would have stepped over her. And you are? Valerie asked, tilting her head with just enough edge in her voice to slice marble. My girlfriend opened her mouth. Closed it. Tried again. I don't know what's going on, ill. Oh, you do? Valerie said, stepping forward, calm like a surgeon. You just hoped we didn't. I turned and held the hotel door open. Ladies first. Neither of them moved. Valerie broke the silence. Let's get it over with. We walked in like a funeral procession with a hit list. Lobby desk guy barely looked up. He'd seen worse, probably. For floors up in the elevator, not a word. I could hear the tick of my own watch. Outside room 406, Valerie took a slow breath, adjusted her sleeve cuffs, and knocked. Travis opened the door half a crack, shirt half-buttoned. I still glazed from whatever he thought his Friday plans were. When he saw Valerie and my girlfriend standing there like Judgment Day had booked a double feature, he just blinked. Then his gaze flicked to me behind them, and his mouth actually dropped open. Surprise, I said. Valerie stepped inside without waiting for an invitation. My girlfriend, bless her cowardly little heart, actually looked like she was considering running down the hallway in heels. But no one moved to stop her. We didn't need to. Room 406 was nothing special, basic queen bed, overpriced bottled water on the nightstand, laptop still open on the desk, Uber Eats bag crumpled on the table, and 2 champagne flutes. Half full. It looked like a budget honeymoon suite for the ethically bankrupt. Valerie sat in the chair by the desk like she was about to conduct a quarterly performance review. Travis hovered by the bed, rubbing his neck. My girlfriend stood near the window, arms folded, trying to shrink herself into the drywall. Let's not drag this out, Valerie said. I know what's been going on. He knows. We're not here for a confession. We're here to deliver consequences. Travis tried to speak. Valerie. She held up a hand. Don't. Save it for your exit interview. My girlfriend looked at me with wide eyes like I was supposed to save her. Like this was a scene from some indie drama where the guy swoops in and forgives her because he still loves her, or whatever. Yeah. No. I turned toward her. So, all that focus time you blocked on the calendar? That was for this. She said nothing. Do you even know how lazy that was? I asked, stepping closer. You didn't even try to hide it. Just a recurring slot every Friday. I was supposed to be doing the groceries while you were doing. I nodded toward Travis, client services. I didn't mean. Sure you did. You meant it every Friday for 2 months. Valerie looked at me. You got screenshots? Calendar logs, Uber Eats history, audio clips from the smart speaker, and I gestured at the open laptop. I'm guessing some digital residue in there, too. My girlfriend finally snapped, voice rising. Why would you do this like a setup? Why not just talk to me? Talk to you. I laughed, sharp and humorless. What, over dinner? While you're texting Travis C. Blueheart, under the table? Nah. I figured you deserved something more. Educational. Valerie stood. And Travis here? He deserves unemployment. Travis paled. Wait. What? She turned to him, all professionalism now. You're officially being reported to HR for gross misconduct, misuse of company time and resources, and reputational risk. Effective immediately, your account access will be revoked. We'll be in touch about severance. If any. You can't. Oh, I can. You slept with someone who works for one of our vendors. On the clock. Using company equipment. She gestured at the open laptop. I can, and I will. He actually looked at my girlfriend then, like she was supposed to jump in and rescue him. She didn't. She was too busy internally combusting. I turned toward the door. Valerie, you coming? She nodded. Let's go. As we walked out, I gave one final look at my girlfriend. She mouthed something, maybe, I'm sorry, maybe, don't do this. Didn't matter. I shut the door behind us with the kind of quiet click that ends things better than shouting ever could. In the elevator, Valerie let out a long, slow exhale. Well, she said. That was satisfying. You think he'll cry? I hope so. In traffic. We stepped out into daylight. The sun felt cleaner than it had in weeks. I didn't say goodbye. Just got in my truck and drove. Back home, the calendar was still open on the shared tablet. Her blocks were still there. I clicked each one. Deleted. 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 And in their place, I added a new block. Start over. Solo. Weekly. I didn't hear from her for 3 days. Not a text. Not a call. Not even a passive-aggressive voice note, which, to be honest, was her preferred communication method when she knew she was losing ground but still wanted to sound like she was holding moral high ground. 3 days of silence. Honestly, peaceful. I spent those days cleaning the apartment. Not in the dramatic, heartbroken, movie montage way. I just decluttered. Like I was disinfecting the last 6 months of my life. Her scented candles? Gone. Those motivational sticky notes on the bathroom mirror? Trashed. The Himalayan salt lamp she swore balanced our relationships' vibes? Smashed. No regrets. It was methodical. Ritualistic, almost. By the time Friday rolled around, the sacred 1 to 3 p.m. slot, I was sitting on the couch, drinking iced coffee, watching her Uber Eats history update in real time. But there was no order, no room service drop-off, just a flat line of nothing. I had officially broken the cycle. Still, I knew her. She wasn't going to vanish. Not without a monologue. And like clockwork, Saturday morning at 8:03 a.m., I got a text. "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. At 8:09. I deserve that. But please, I just want to explain. At 8:17. I didn't plan for this to happen. It just got complicated. Then at 8:21. You don't understand what I was going through. Oh, I understood. I understood better than she did, apparently. She was going through someone else's hotel room, someone else's marriage, and the real kicker, someone else's HR department. Then came the voicemail. 1 minute, 48 seconds of crying, guilt-tweaked apologies, half-truths, and a laughably desperate pivot to how we used to be great together. I didn't listen twice. Instead, I sent one message. Check your inbox. See, while she'd been busy editing content, I've been editing my own little surprise. Remember the tablet I used to expose the hotel footage? Turns out, the app one used for the shared calendar has export logs. All that data she assumed was private? Timeline snapshots, location tags, even IP metadata. And the best part? She logged into that calendar with her work email. So when I compiled the package timestamps, Uber logs, overlapping VPN usage from the hotel's Wi-Fi, I didn't just send it to her. I BCC'd her boss's boss, and the head of HR. Oh, and remember the HR woman from the hotel? Still don't know what she said to her team exactly, but let's just say the aftermath hit like a bowling ball to a Jenga tower. Monday morning, I watched her LinkedIn update disappear. Tuesday morning, her name was no longer on the company's staff directory. By Wednesday, a new position was listed in the same department. Same role, different name. She didn't just lose her job. She lost the reputation she spent 3 years crafting with curated selfies, buzzwords, and fake productivity updates. And I got a follow-up email from one of the managers. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. We're conducting a full review. Translation, she's done. Quietly, efficiently, and without any messy she said. A week later, she finally showed up. I was in the kitchen, tossing out the last of the almond milk she always swore I'd grow to love. I didn't. When I heard the front door jiggle, she still had a key. I waited. She walked in like she lived there. Like nothing had happened. Like I hadn't detonated her little secret with the precision of a brain surgeon holding a grudge. Hey, she said softly. I just want to talk. You already said that, I replied, not looking up from the sink. She hovered near the island, fingers clutching the strap of her tote bag like it was a life raft. You blindsided me. I turned. With what? Consequences? Her jaw clenched. You didn't have to ruin my life. I laughed. One sharp, dry bark. You ruin mine every Friday at 1:03 p.m. I just returned the favor. You don't understand it. Actually, I do. I understand patterns, habits, logins. I understand how a person can convince themselves they deserve something just this once, and then repeat it 12 times under the same calendar entry like a sociopath with Google access. She flinched. I stepped closer. You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry it didn't stay hidden. That hit. She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I want my key back, I said. She didn't move. I'm not asking. After a long pause, she fished it from her bag, dropped it on the counter like it burned. I nodded at the door. You can go. And she did. Slowly. With one last look that probably meant to say something like, you'll regret this, but just came off like, I got caught and now I'm hollow inside. After she left, I sat down and reopened the shared calendar. It was still synced to my account. I could see her new events, job interviews, therapy appointments, something called self-actualization circle at 7 p.m. on Thursdays. Good. She'd need all the circles she could get. I deleted my access, closed the app, wiped the cache. Then I opened a blank calendar and started planning my week. For real this time. No lies. No fake meetings. Just a guy, a clean slate, and a long overdue taste of his own peace. You ever watch a spider rebuild its web after someone brushes it away? That's what she looked like. Quiet. Methodical. Pretending nothing was broken, just restructuring. It didn't take long before her new persona showed up on my radar. through a friend of a mutual coworker's LinkedIn activity. Yeah, she'd rebranded. New headshot. Fresh banner. Even a new title. Independent creative strategist, brand recovery expert. Brand recovery. That got a chuckle out of me. Her entire brand got torched like a gas-soaked paper doll, and she's already pitching herself as a fixer of reputations. The irony was rich enough to bottle. Still, I let her play pretend. Meanwhile, I focused on what mattered. My own sanity, my own time, and best of all, my own version of closure. Not the mushy, let's talk this through kind. No. The kind that comes in neat, legal envelopes and frozen bank accounts. You see, in our apartment, I was the boring guy. The one who didn't get social media, who didn't tag brunches or caption sunsets. But I kept receipts. Not metaphorical ones. Literal ones. She liked to pay for work lunches with the joint card. Little $26 sushi orders here and there. Boutique hotel Wi-Fi charges by mistake. Designer perfume, client gift. All logged. All sorted. I sent them to a lawyer. Nothing fancy, just one of those free consult guys whose reviews all said stuff like fast, sharp, terrifyingly calm. My kind of energy. He looked at the packet I handed him and said, "You're doing this the smart way." He meant I wasn't throwing tantrums. I wasn't calling her names. I wasn't airing anything online. I was just showing proof. And courts? Courts love proof. It was around this time I started hearing rumors from the coworker circuit. About layoffs. About department restructuring. About a few employees who got let go without public explanation. Her name popped up in the gossip chain more than once. So imagine my lack of surprise when she sent me another message. This one came via email, not text. Subject line, please read. I opened it in the same way you watch a raccoon paw at an electrical socket, a mix of amusement and morbid curiosity. Hey, I know you don't owe me anything. I just want you to know. I lost the job. The HR director, the one from the hotel, made it clear that I'd violated more than one policy. She didn't even yell. She just stared at me and said, "I thought you were smarter than this." I deserve it, I know. But I just wanted you to hear it from me. I'm sorry. For all of it. Kay. I didn't reply. What was the point? She wasn't sorry for the damage, she was sorry for the outcome. Still, the timing got my attention. Because just 2 days earlier, I'd received a curious calendar invitation. Yes, the same calendar she used to cheat. But this wasn't from her. It came from a blocked Gmail address. No name, no signature. Just a location, Huxley and Elm Bistro, private room 3. And a message. Anniversary surprise, dress nice. Be on time. I almost deleted it. Thought it was a glitch. Until I saw the date, next Friday, 1 p.m., right in the middle of her old cheating window. It was either her or someone playing a long game. Either way, I accepted. Because if this was a trap, I wanted to spring it. The following Friday, I arrived at Huxley and Elm exactly at 12:57. I wore a button-up shirt, not too formal, not too casual, and brought nothing but my phone, my wits, and a mild appetite for chaos. The hostess didn't blink, just smiled and led me through a sleek corridor into a small private room. Dim lighting, elegant table setup, 2 empty chairs. And already seated was her. Not my wife. The other woman. The HR director. She looked different in civilian clothes, less intimidating, more human, but with the same sharp eyes that made people confess things they didn't even know they'd done. She stood and extended a hand. "Thanks for coming," she said. "Didn't think you would." I shook her hand out of instinct, then sat slowly. "Is this a meeting? An ambush? Or are you just collecting ex-victims like baseball cards?" That got a dry smile out of her. "None of the above," she said. "I just figured we deserved a real ending." "To what, exactly?" "To the mess." I raised an eyebrow. "Your wife cheated with mine, and then fired her. I think the mess already ended." She nodded. "For you, maybe. But for me, the headlines are just beginning." Turns out, her wife, the coworker my wife had been seeing, had been planning a discrimination suit. Not because of the cheating, but because of how things unraveled afterward. She was claiming toxic work culture, retaliation, the works. And if she wins, the HR woman said, sipping water, "It tanks my credibility. So I'm cutting it off at the source." I tilted my head. "And I'm the source?" "No. She is. But you're holding the match." It hit me then. This wasn't a trap. This was a proposition. She was warning me. If I had more data, more receipts, more angles, now is the time to be careful. I leaned back. So what? You're asking me not to go nuclear? I'm asking you to be smart. You've already won. Dragging it out won't get you closure, just court dates. I nodded slowly. She wasn't wrong. And yet, that's fair, I said. But I didn't come here for closure. She frowned. I came to return the calendar. I slid a small printed copy of the shared calendar across the table, every focus block, every hotel tag, every sushi delivery. She picked it up, flipped through. Her face didn't change much, just a tightening around the jaw. Message received, she said quietly. I stood. Thanks for lunch. I didn't wait for a response. I walked out, turned off notifications, and deleted every shared app from my phone. From that point forward, I'd check my own damn calendar and keep the Fridays for myself. I didn't plan on attending the company layoff meeting. But then again, I hadn't planned on getting cheated on, either. So when a friend who still worked in the same building messaged me, "Yo, your ex's firm is doing the bloodletting today, and it's getting weird," I figured, why not swing by? I didn't barge into the office like a movie villain. No, I just walked into the cafe across the street, grabbed a table near the window, and opened my laptop like any other forgettable guy in a hoodie. But what I was watching wasn't my inbox. It was the sidewalk. See, I'd marked this date on my personal calendar 2 weeks ago. Color-coded. All caps, payback drop zone. Everything had been moving in the background ever since that little lunch chat with the HR director. While she tried to clean up the legal shrapnel from her imploding marriage, I'd been repurposing the mess into a very targeted presentation, one that didn't even need my name attached to it. Just a burner email, a clever subject line, and a nicely timed delivery to the company Slack channels. What was in the attachment? Let's call it Focus Time, a visual timeline. It was a slideshow. Each slide featured a calendar screenshot, Uber Eats log, matching Uber ride receipt, and an image or timestamp from the hotel's check-in data I had acquired. I didn't add captions. Didn't need to. The timeline spoke for itself. Slide 6 was the fan favorite, a photo of my wife, well, ex-wife now, stepping out of the hotel's glass revolving door, mid-laugh, with a man whose face was unmistakably that of the head of development. And the woman 10 paces behind them? Oh, that was his actual wife. Same woman who sat across from me at that anniversary ambush. Same woman who, according to another source, worked directly in HR. You remember the twist I promised? Here it is. That same woman was never just the coworker's wife. She was HR. And not just HR. She was VP of People and Culture. A decision maker. A stakeholder. A gatekeeper. And now, she was also the whistleblower. The final nail in the coffin wasn't mine. It was hers. She filed the formal complaint, citing ethical misconduct, misuse of company resources, and breach of client trust. Guess what evidence she used? My slides. Turns out, when you cheat on your spouse and your company in the same breath, and the same calendar logs your betrayals, that calendar becomes Exhibit A. The layoffs came swift. Strategic. Like a surgeon's scalpel. Some folks were offered quiet severance packages. Others were let go for performance. My ex? She was called into a private meeting and didn't come back out. I watched her leave the building with a cardboard box in hand. Not the movie kind, no potted plant, no framed photos. Just her Bluetooth keyboard, a pair of noise-canceling headphones, and a crumpled blazer. She didn't cry, didn't break down. She looked hollow, like someone who'd lost control of the narrative and didn't know how to start a new one. I didn't wave, just watched her fade into the sidewalk crowd. That night, she texted me. I guess I deserve that. You could have ruined me worse. Thanks for not going nuclear. You always were the smarter one. I stared at the screen, then deleted it. No reply. Because here's the thing. I never needed to ruin her. She did that on her own. I just held up the mirror. As for me, I moved out of that apartment the next week. Got a spot closer to work. Smaller, quieter, but with better light. And no shared calendars. No more focus blocks. No more locked doors. Just one tablet. One Google account. One name on the lease. Mine. And every Friday from 1 to 3 p.m., I spend that time how I damn well please. Sometimes I read. Sometimes I nap. Sometimes I take a long walk and laugh to myself when I pass a hotel. Because nothing feels better than getting your time back. And nothing says closure like hitting unsubscribe from the lies, the noise, the shared systems. Some people keep trophies. I keep the silence. And that's more than enough. Subscribe to the channel